I'm gonna order show.
We're live. All right. Just want to make sure we're muted before I let anybody in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Mute all.
Mm-hmm. I'll hit the order button once you place yours. Hello, hello, hello.
Hey, everybody. Happy Friday. Hope everyone is having a wonderful day. This is day number 5, our last day of training. Obviously, tomorrow morning is going to be our full-scale Q&A. So for those that are coming in tomorrow, what we do ask for people that do show up to the Q&A session is make sure you have at least one question.
That's your homework.
That's really, we've had times where we're trying to fill airtime, so to speak, because people showed up, which we loved. They just had no questions. So it's 60 minutes of live Q&A with us. So I'm sure people have questions from this week, which shouldn't be too difficult to come up with one. So we're encouraging everyone to show up tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern to 12 p.m. Eastern, full-scale live Q&A, and we're really looking forward to that. We're going to be announcing some winners at the end of tonight's session, and there'll be one or two final winners tomorrow morning. There's going to be an accountability assignment, obviously one last one. And then just some other housekeeping. Obviously, the replays are up until next Sunday. And there have been a few people that have become founding members of Expert Foundations. And what we've decided to do is we are only going to leave the doors open to Expert Foundations until Monday at 1 p.m. Noon Eastern on Monday. So if anyone does want to become a founding member of that 6-month membership, basically you're going to be getting a very sizable discount. The regular pricing, as we mentioned last night, it's a 6-month membership. People can pay in full. It's typically going to be offered at $14.97 in full, or 6 payments of $297 a month. For just this time only for you guys, it is only $97 a month for 6 months, monthly, or people can pay in full for $497. So Nancy's going to drop the link in the chat box. Again, anyone that wants to be a part of that, you're going to be basically taken through from A to Z, everything that needs to be done in even more in depth than what we've gone over, how to really build out and structure your business. And again, you're going to have access to this from September 1st until the end of February 28th. So it's 6 months. Now, a couple of people that did sign up already asked us, well, what if we want to continue, which is a continuing after the 6 months. We do have a continuing education program attached to it, which means after your time, the 6 months, you can continue on a month-to-month basis for $49 ongoing. So basically, after you end up finishing out your 6 months of access, you can choose to let it lapse, or you can continue with the continuing education rate. But again, what we're offering until Monday at 12 is only good for right now if you would like to be a founding member.
Yeah. And just so you guys know, we're not announcing this or launching this outside of this little tight space. So obviously, there's 16 of you on here live, and then anyone else who's watching the replays. This is a very quiet, soft little opening. And again, the training portal will open September 1st. So you guys have a whole month, right, to enjoy the rest of summer. And then from September all the way to February, like Scott mentioned, you'll have access to the course. And then I actually did offer an additional month. So So obviously for anyone who joined up, I will be sharing that information with you as well. But I extended a little bit of a buffer because obviously the holidays are in there. So I did tack on an additional month. But like Scott said, I really wanted to make this, and, we kind of go against the grain sometimes. I'm sure you guys have heard, like, don't be a salmon in the world of fish. And so a lot of people, they'll sell courses and they'll do things and you have access forever. And, that's awesome and it's wonderful, but sometimes we put them on the shelf, and we don't look at them ever again. And so we really wanted to create a course that really no one else had ever done. And I built this out, the whole back end. It's so exciting because it's actually a journey and you unlock things. You can even earn experience points. I've kind of like made it a little more fun. And then we even incorporated a client rescue mission. So if anyone gets off track or isn't on track with where they should be, you might get a little text message or you might get a little message to help keep you on track. So it's really neat, but it's building all the things basically from assessment from that day one. It has all the different things to help build out all those things to fill in the gap. So for example, if you don't have a client onboarding form yet, I'm going to give you a template for that. So you can basically copy and paste it right into your business. So it's all those different things from that business assessment day one, all broken down into monthly little modules within that course to help you build out those foundations.
Yep. There's also a private Facebook group. So anyone that wants to know what kind of support. So there's going to be a private Facebook group where you can ask questions at any point, at any time, full access to that. Nancy and I will also be doing some pop-up trainings in there for extra support. And we really want to help you build out the roadmap so you are set up for success. So again, if you've loved this workshop so far and you
or maybe you're a little overwhelmed and you just kind of want like a plug and play system. Yeah, I think that might be a little more helpful.
So again, we'll be sending out some email reminders, but again, you do have until noon on Monday. And we've kind of put a line in the sand because in previous times where we've launched something, we've extended where people can join. This is kind of like a one and done super special thing. So you get in now. There will be an onboarding call. The day that the portal becomes accessible is September 1st, which is also when our onboarding call is going to be. It's September 1st, which is a Thursday from
right away.
8 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And again, we're just really, really excited for all those that have decided to sign up already. And again, if you're on the fence, it's okay. If you're overwhelmed, it's okay. We want to kind of take that overwhelm all away from you. Now, before we jump into tonight, well, first, happy Friday. And first things first, what has been, obviously, we went over a ton of information in these first 4 days, but what would you say was the biggest game changer for you in looking at your business, the bottleneck, the creating of your CEO schedule, understanding the benefit of Trello, really building out and mapping out what does your dream business want to look like? What has been the biggest takeaway for all of you guys? Leave it in the comments below, because again, understanding where you are in business right now allows you to plan for where you want your business to be in the future. And that's the big thing. We really want you guys to all map out and build that dream business because it's possible. The fact of the matter is that if, like Nancy mentioned before, if we continue to throw spaghetti at the wall, we can't expect anything to stick, and we're not going to get the results that we want. And when there's this saying that, you got to, if you want your business to monetarily produce like a business, you have to treat it like one. I want to go a step further with that. You have to set up your business like it's a business. And whether you're a solopreneur where you don't have a VA, you don't have anybody else working for you, you still have to treat it like you have a full-scale business, because it is. We were by ourselves for a really long time. And it only was probably in the last 3 years that we've been slowly onboarding team members to help us, run the company. But for the first, 2.5 years of that, almost 3 years of that, it was just us flying by the seat of our pants.
Well, and they're only helping us with the agency side of things. So,
right.
Yeah, we've got operations on, the other side of things that we just consistently do.
Yep. So CEO schedule and learning Trello. And again, once you start mapping all this stuff out, it's a world of a difference. And that's why, we were, I don't want to say hesitant about launching the expert foundations, but we knew that even though it's not going to be available until September 1st, we knew that there was going to be a ton of people that wanted to continue to learn and move forward with this, because one of the two biggest things that people say that they struggle most with is being consistent, number one, and number two, being overwhelmed, really not knowing what to do. So we're always looking to be problem solvers and solution oriented people. So when Nancy had the idea of really putting together this plug and play system within Expert Foundations, literally she's just handing you the keys to learn how to put all of those things. And the great thing is it is spaced apart, just like how Nancy said last night, it's 2 hours a month, 2 hours a week, 2 hours a week, 2 hours a week to implement all of this stuff, 8 hours a month, 48 hours total over those 6 months. And I think everybody can afford to block out that time if they want to. And we always make time for what is most important to us.
Yeah. And those 2 hours a week, it's so funny. Scott keeps saying 2 hours a month. I'm not a miracle worker. Okay. But 2 hours a week includes the little training that's in there. And then also the implementation, right? So as you start to build out the different things in your business, which month one is actually mapping out everything that needs to get done and getting your business hub together, organizing your files, all that cool stuff. Month two jumps right into, like I said, the assessment. We kick it off with operations. So as you build these pieces out to your business, whether it's the client onboarding, how you're following up with clients, maybe some routines that you want to put into place, to touch base or send thank you messages or things like that, it's all going to be in there. So your business is going to build, within the first month, second month, the third month, and, by the sixth month, you have all those things from the assessment checked off. You have them in place. So again, this is the first time we've ever built anything like this. I'm super excited about it. And I even told Scott, I was like, let's not even open the doors yet. Again, we're going to be building it. It's going to be September 1st is when it's going to open. But we really did want to make this, special for you guys who have attended this Get Organized workshop, because I don't want to leave you guys here. I don't want to just say, all right, peace out. Good luck with all the, good luck with your assessment and figuring out how to do all that stuff. I want to help you. Okay. And that's always the goal. We want to make things that are really tough and overwhelming, and we want to make them simple. So, again, we're only offering this to you guys. We're not sending it out to our entire email list or, even announcing it on social media. In fact, the only posts that are going out are in the group for you guys. So anyway, just a reminder, we will close Monday at 12 p.m. We usually do like a Wednesday, door close. It's Monday, 12 p.m., hard close. So if anyone has any questions, feel free to reach out. We're happy to answer. And, again, we actually take feedback, from this training and from things that you guys have asked. And, additionally, we'll do the Q&A session tomorrow. Really excited for you guys to bring any and all questions and really hang out with you, on Saturday morning. Always fun to grab our coffee and get together. But, the other thing I wanted to share too is, this was a lot of stuff that we went over this week, and you guys just, we appreciate you so much. And the fact that you're showing up each and every day, and, you guys who are on here right now on a Friday, evening, it's wonderful. And I just feel so grateful and thankful, to have you guys participate in this training, and, the feedback, even sharing some value. I know, again, I keep the word overwhelm is like, probably going to shave it down a little bit for next time, but, really wanting to pack some value in this so that you guys could walk away, at least getting to see what a lot of people can't even see behind the scenes. And we wanted to share that with you. So jumping into day 5, okay, we're going to really be digging into learning the keys of consistency. Okay. And consistency, like Scott said, that's one thing that consistently, right, pops up whenever we ask, people what they struggle with. And, it's the number one thing. In fact, I wish I could remember the exact quote, but I think it was Tom Ferry who said, he does like real estate. He said, usually it's the day-to-day mundane stuff that people hate doing or they're bored of doing that leads to what makes them great. And it's those things that we have to do in our business and take care of that build off of each other, right? It's that compound effect. Okay. And so the whole purpose of really this entire training was to give you guys some tools that you can use, such as Trello yesterday, where you can kind of map out what needs to get done. I know some of you shared that you already had, like a project management tool that you use. That's excellent, but we want to make sure that we're actually using them.
Type Y or yes or N or no. If one of your big struggles in your business is staying consistent. So Y or yes or N or no, if consistency is one of your big, yes, no, yes. So more yeses than nos. Yes. Now I'll tell you this. If you're not consistent, that is completely normal. There are things that obviously we've created habits around that is second nature, and I always compare the gym to it. It's part of me. I've been working out since I was 18, almost 19 years old. It's just in me at this point. I don't go a day without it. And there are other things that we all look to bring into our businesses and things that we need to do that it takes a little bit of time to get the engine rolling. But what I'll tell you is that as you really dig into being a profitable business owner, and as you really look to grow and scale, consistency is one of those things that's going to help you get to where you want to be quicker. But it's also something that needs to be focused on. The other thing I'll say to that, for those that said that, yes, they're not consistent or they can be more consistent, don't want you to feel bad. The fact is, we've all been in that space where we've been inconsistent in some way, shape, or form. I myself, I am not perfect, nor is Nancy. We're all perfectly imperfect. There are things that Nancy and I are both really good at being consistent at, and there's things that we're not consistent at. It's just, as human beings, we can only do so much in a given day. And if something does fall onto the back burner, it's okay. It can be brought forward again. So give yourselves some grace. But what we're going to go over with you guys today are, I don't want to say hacks, but they are things that you can do to increase your productivity and allow you to be more consistent on a consistent basis and not fall back into some of those patterns of being inconsistent and disorganized. Now, so obviously one of the biggest issues with Trello, and we actually heard this from people, is that they're inconsistent with using it.
Like they build it and then they never go back to it.
Yeah,
or
someone
they forget
said
where they
built their board and
they forget the link, or it's disappeared or whatever. So even before we go into this next slide, because I do want to share with you guys, I did take out a couple slides because, again, I didn't want to give you guys too much. I didn't want to overwhelm you. But can you share in the chat box on a scale of 0 to 5, 0 meaning none, 5 meaning heck yeah, I'm good to go. Drop 0 to 5, your level of knowledge of tech and your comfortable, how comfortable you are using different software and programs. Okay. So Rochelle's got a 4, Richard 5. Wow. Okay. All right. We got some techies. Okay. All right. And again, no matter where you're at, somebody said 8. Okay, cool. All right. So there is a little something. Okay. And Vanessa, it's okay. All right. So I'm going to share a couple different things. So one little hack that I use with my business, and, I did take out the slide around this, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of share briefly what this tool is. I'm going to give you a very high level overview. And then what I'm going to do is just ask you guys in your own time after this training, I want you to go check it out. I want you to watch the little video on their, website. And I want to let you know what I'm about to talk about is free. Okay. So it's a thing that you can use for your business. But it's been a complete game changer for me. Okay. But it is obviously something new and different. Now, The tool that I'm talking about is called Toby. Okay. It's spelled Toby. And what Toby is it's a Google Chrome extension. Okay.
So you have to use Google Chrome.
Yeah. So you have to use Google Chrome. So if anyone knows what Google Chrome is, or if anyone uses Google Chrome, type a Y or yes in the chat box. Because again, this is not going to apply to you if you're not using Google Chrome. Don't even worry about it. Okay. So a couple of you guys, okay. Yes, use Google Chrome. So little do many people know that Google Chrome has the ability to actually add a bunch of different fun extensions and apps. Okay. And you can use a little bit of everything. Chrome browser or Chrome OS. I'm not sure. It's whatever Chrome you like open Windows on your desktop. See, I mean, this is like, I'm not sure what the difference between the two are, but it's the one, yeah, the browser, I think. So anyway, what you're able to do is if you go to the website, gettoby.com. Okay. And it's GETTOBY.com. And Scott, can we actually minimize and take them there? I just want to give you guys like a little overview of what this is. And the reason why I'm sharing it, again, I originally pulled it out, but then if you guys are comfortable learning about, one more thing, I just want to show you what this is. And I want you to take it the next level if you guys want to use it for your business and take it to the next step. So can you do gettoby.com? Type in gettoby.com. Yep. All right. And if you guys, let's see, gettoby.com. Yep. All right. So whenever, here. Oh, does it always say that? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So I'm going to play this like really quick little video for you. But basically, have you ever like bookmarked things? It could be like all different websites or whatever, and you never ever look at your bookmarks again, or they're all over the place and there's no way to really organize them. Well, I'm going to play this quick little video and it kind of gives you a really rough idea of what Toby looks like. And this is also for people who might struggle and have tons of tabs open by the end of the day, maybe like 3 p.m. and you've got like 20 tabs, open. So I'm going to go ahead and play this. All right. So again, you're probably watching that and going,
You can go to mine. It's already open.
Okay, got it. So you're probably watching that and going, how do I use this for my business? So just to give you guys a very quick overview, and again, I don't want to, dive too deep in here, but what it does is it turns your tabs. So every time you open up a tab, so I'm going to give you an example, right? So if I just basically open another tab in my Google, Chrome browser, I just hit new tab, and this is after you install it, of course. It shows up like this, okay? And you have the ability to create different collections, different spaces, all kinds of cool stuff. So up here, so I guess this is Scott's. All right, so he's got his own little My Collection section. Let's say that Scott actually wanted to start kind of organizing tabs for his clients, okay? So what Scott could do is create a little space. And you have to log in and do all that. He can create a space and actually start to organize different links for clients. So if he wanted a way to quickly pull up LinkedIn profiles for certain clients so that he knew when he jumped on the call with them, he could just click on that button and open their LinkedIn profile right away. Maybe he had a shared Google document, right, that he wanted to pull up really quickly and he went over content with somebody. So he would pull it up very quickly. So again, what I want you to do is use it. Go on, gettoby.com. I want you guys to learn a little bit more about it and see if it's a good fit for what it is that you're doing. Because what we're talking about today, okay, and what I want you guys to keep in mind is a lot of times we forget certain links and maybe we're viewing something and we're like, man, I really need to come back to this. Or, I really have to, revisit that or whatever. It's a really amazing tool to use to be able to quickly go in and access stuff very quickly. Okay. And Rochelle, just so you know, in the back office of Expert Authority, you have full access to the Toby training. So it kind of walks you through step by step. But anyway, the Toby has been like a game changer for me. But for everyone who is not techie and doesn't want to use, Toby to kind of get sorted or whatever, you can absolutely do that hack I showed you the other day, which all you have to do. Can I show them how to do the URL and drag it? Yeah, I just want to open a window and. All right. So the other hack of what you can do is just highlight whatever link, right? So it could be your Trello link, okay, that URL, and you just click it and drag and drop it. And of course, this isn't his desktop, but you would just drag and drop it and you can put it right on your desktop. Okay. So that is a quick and easy way. All right, cool. Awesome. All right, now we're good. All right, so I can go like this again, just for all intents and purposes. And I don't know why it's blurring out that. Here, let's do that. Okay, so you click on it, you drag and you drop. And boom, it just makes it very simple. It's right on your desktop. Okay. You can even create a little folder that says like daily to do and drop the link in there that way. So that's just an idea of a way that you can quickly get to it. Okay. Again, we talked about Toby. Those are for those like next level, you're ready for that tech at this point. But the thing I love about Toby is you can organize. In fact, I have every single one of my clients in my tabs all built out in Toby. I have all their key documents, their links, everything like that are all sorted. So it is so quick if I need to work on or get, notes to anybody. All their Trello boards are separated out that way. And it's so nice and organized. The other thing that is really cool about Toby is you can also create routines. So let's say you check your Gmail in the morning. You can click the little Toby icon and you can save, that, into your daily routine part of Toby. So anyway, so I'm not going to talk about that too much more, but let's go back to the slides. But that is just a quick little hack. I want to make sure you guys are comfortable getting to your Trello board, right? Because that's the big thing. We want to make sure that you guys are able to have quick access and jump right into that Trello board if you're going to be able to use it consistently and have it on the forefront. Okay. So the next little hack is, okay, well, let's talk about, so just setting up Trello, obviously mapping out everything that needs to get done. So the next little hack is so basic. Okay. It is just a timer. Okay. I don't know if any of you have heard of the Pomodoro technique or anything like that, but actually setting a timer for yourself, giving yourself deadlines to complete tasks. I actually use and Trello. Yeah. Trello does have a desktop app as well. I use a timer. So I use a timer from Amazon. I literally have it's like a little square and one side says 30 minutes, one says 60, one says 90, and you can flip it and it counts down. So I know that I have like at least 20 minutes or 30 minutes or however long I set it to get something done. And I know it sounds so ridiculous and it sounds so simple, but sometimes I need that undivided attention, that focus, that little pressure, kind of making sure that I can get things done. Because I'll tell you what, if I do not do that and I don't hold myself to certain deadlines, I could sit at my screen and probably stare at something for about an hour before I actually get it done. In fact, Scott can be over here and he could take 2 seconds to actually type in and schedule an email. It might take me 40 minutes if I give myself, so it really, a lot of the tasks that we have to do not take that long. Okay. When it comes to timer, a couple of the other little hacks, there's a little app you can download for your phone. It makes me laugh. It's called Forest, just Forest. I don't know if they have it for Android as well. I'm assuming they probably do, but what you do is it's a little timer and it's 20 minutes at a time. And you basically can, you can grow a tree. So in that 20 minutes, it basically, you hit the button and you can't play on your phone. You can't do things outside or else your tree will die. So it sounds like really morbid, but it gives you that little like boost, that really, to really achieve your goals and get things done off your to-do list and take care of it. Okay. So that's one thing. Of course, they have other Google Chrome extensions, things like that. That one that I just mentioned is called Forest. And then the last little hack when it comes to timing and deadlines. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because, probably all of you on here, right? Most of you, if not all of you, right, are entrepreneurs, right? You are creative people. In fact, as human beings, we're creative individuals. Okay. What is the name? Yeah, I already shared that. Forest. So anyway, we're super creative, individuals. But the thing is with that creativity, sometimes comes what we call squirrel brain. Okay. And I can guarantee you a certain time of the day hits and I am like, woo, I'm checked out. So the other little hack, and I share this all the time with people, and Scott still thinks I'm crazy sometimes. But there is a program called FocusMate. Rochelle. So FocusMate is one word. Okay. It's spelled focus, FOCUS mate, MATE.com. Okay. Again, this is a free program. I'm just throwing out free tools for you guys. Focusmate.com allows you to go on their site and you can actually choose a time. So let's say, for example, you guys actually put in your little CEO schedule that for 50 minutes on Monday, you wanted to make sure to create your content, right? Maybe you blocked off that time. If you know that maybe it's a little bit of a struggle to hold accountable and get these done, and these apps are not in the workbook. So this is just me if you want to write them down. Yep, off the cuff here. So FocusMate again. So what it allows you to do is, for example, right, if I'm going to, and the replays will be available, Vanessa, if you want to jump back in. So and we can post them in the Facebook group too. So the whatchamacallit, the FocusMate, I can actually go to Monday. Okay. And I can pick a time out on Monday, whatever time I time blocked on my CEO schedule. And I can select a 50-minute time block. And what it's going to do is it's going to pair me up with someone else
anywhere in the world.
Anywhere in the world. I mean, this is how like Scott thinks it's so ridiculous, but I think it's so amazing. So it pairs you up with somebody else in the world who is also trying to get something done. Okay. And they could be a student studying for their PhD, they could be cleaning their house. In fact, I've been on before where a woman was like, I have to clean my house. I have friends coming over, and her cat was following her around the whole time. Well, anyway, what it does is you just introduce each other in the first like 2 seconds and you say, hey, I'm Nancy. I actually am setting my intentions. I want to get my content done for next week. And then they introduce themselves, set their intentions, and then you hit mute. And then you go about your business, and it gives you a 50-minute countdown. Okay. And then what happens is at the end of that 50 minutes, you guys reconvene, a little alarm goes off, and then you talk about, were you able to get it done? And then you say, peace out, have a wonderful life. Right. And that's it. And it's been such a fun tool. And I say this because for a long time in entrepreneurship, and especially before meeting Scott, I felt very lonely, right? I felt like I was kind of doing all these things on my own. And, that motivation of getting things done, I had no boss, right? Lurking over me or, telling me I had to get certain things done. So that program alone, I thought it was so, so neat because yes, I'm not going to get fired if I don't get my stuff done, but it gives me that little boost of accountability. So again, it's called FocusMate, one word, .com, completely free. And in fact, I think you can have up to 3 sessions for free. Yes. And thanks so much, Brett, for dropping it in the chat, but it's 3 sessions, I believe, per week, that are absolutely free, and they're super cool. And in fact, I think they're going to be branching out and doing co-working groups. Like basically you can jump in groups, and co-work together and maybe even like focus on a specific topic or whatever, like for example, like content planning and whatnot. So anyway, so lots of cool stuff out there. I just wanted to share a few of my favorites. Again, that first one was Toby. Could not live without it. In fact, my team, I was like, should I share this on this training? And they were like, you have to. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to go too deep and, get anyone confused, but Toby is just amazing. So anyway, so Toby and then FocusMate. And then, yeah, I shared the little app where you can grow your little trees on your phone called Forest. All right. So again, some very simple techniques, but we want to make sure that you guys stay focused and you get things done. All right. So moving along. The other thing that we're talking about today, and I know you're like, well, what the heck? We're talking about consistency. Well, I want you guys to really reconnect, and I want you to think about your why. Okay. And the reason why I bring this up and the reason why I kind of went back to this is full transparency. This is back when I started I had a remotely run house cleaning business that I started. And there were points in my business where it was like I got one bill after another. I got slammed by like a tax bill I wasn't fully expecting. I did not have the foundations of my business built out very well. Okay. So the thing that kept me going and kept me from going back to corporate and quitting and throwing up my hands in the air and getting frustrated was my why. Okay. In fact, my why is still what keeps me going to this day. In fact, sometimes I'm in the kitchen and I am just like so thankful and so grateful, almost that like brings tears to my eyes thinking of where I was, so many years ago, over 5 years ago, like, yeah, I'm like way more than 5 years ago. Right. So I remember being at work and having to wake up and be in by a certain time every day. And I was working 60 plus hours a week. I mean, I was in charge of teams. I was burnt out. I was exhausted. And I hit my limit. I was just burnt out. And so my why was being able to live life on my terms, to be able to wake up, feel excited for the day, be excited for what I was about to do, to be able to help people. Right. So I really want you guys to think about, what are your whys? So when the going gets tough, you can always go back to your why. Why did you start all of this in the first place? No matter what it is that you have your business, whatever business you have. And just to share with you, again, some of my whys, just to give you maybe some ideas or, just to be fully transparent, time freedom was like number one. In fact, my house cleaning business was called Work-Life Balance House Cleaning. Okay. And it was funny because I did HR for years as well. And we always talked about work-life balance and all that kind of stuff. So time freedom was so huge for me because, I really wanted to be able to spend time with my family. I wanted to do things. In fact, when I quit my job, I took off an entire month. Okay. And you better believe I tapped into some of my savings, but like I took off an entire month. I spent a week with my brother. I spent a week with my best friend. I spent a week, at my childhood home visiting my mom. I spent time with my family because I had almost felt like I'd become an afterthought, all the holidays, things like that. Like I never got invited anymore because I was busy all the time and I was in it. So time freedom is huge. I want to be able to do what I loved, live life on my own terms. I want to be able to help people, right? I want to enjoy my life. I want to create a life by design and not one more day having to drive to work at a job I didn't like doing anymore. And for my health.
So in the chat box, type in your why. Like if you had to summarize your why in one word, if you had to summarize your why into one word, what would that one word be for your why? And, I do always reflect upon my journey as well.
Wanderlust.
As I told you guys before, I was a brick and mortar business owner. I've experienced the highs of highs and the lows of lows. I sold 2 gyms for $1 million when I was 24. Only to be in $1.5 million of liability debt 6 years later. I've had to file for personal bankruptcy along the way. I lost a house. I've been through divorces on a personal level. And, when you go back and you remember why you started doing something, it reignites that flame. And for me, and now us, we don't want to live a life of regret. We don't want to leave any stone unturned. We really want to make sure that we're doing all of those things that really need to be done. And yeah, everything is figure outable, and it's the truth. And I remember reading a quote. Les Brown said it.
I was looking for it right now. Yeah, I was looking.
He said that, there's graveyards around the world, and buried in those graveyards are some of the greatest songs that were never written, some of the greatest books that were never written, some of the greatest athletes that never got to compete, because they died. They died with that gift inside of them. So every single one of us,
yeah, and I have the exact quote.
Says the graveyard. The graveyard is the richest place on earth because it is here that you will find all the hopes and dreams that were never fulfilled, the books that were never written, the songs that were never sung, the inventions that were never shared, the cures that were never discovered, all because someone was too afraid to take the first step. Keep with the problem or determined to carry out the dream. And again,
give me goosebumps.
Yeah, it's the one big thing that we all, everyone's a different age on here. And what I do know, I was talking to my dad the other day, the fragility of life. And I'll just share a little bit of a personal story with you. My aunt, my mom's youngest sister, my mom's one of three. Her youngest sister, my aunt, was 59. She passed away last week. She ended up getting COVID back when it first hit back in November. And she wasn't the healthiest person, but she wasn't completely unhealthy. She just had some unexpected complications. And she ended up getting intubated in that process, spent 6.5 weeks in the hospital. And she obviously got out of the hospital early in 2021. But there were continuous problems. She ended up having to get on a kidney transplant list. She was on dialysis every single day. It just got bad. And so when we were at Shiva last week, it was really the first time that my family, we were all together, cousins and aunts and uncles. And it made me, like, I said this to Nancy on the drive home. I said, why does death have to be the reason why people are brought back together? Why does that have to be the reason? And it just made me really, it made me really think about how fragile life is and how we really have to live for every single day. You hear the quote all the time that there's two certainties in life: the day that you're born and the day that you die. Those are the two knowns of all of us. It's just we don't know when that second known is going to be. And it's not so much living life to the extreme each day, but I think it's understanding and having the consciousness that you're living your life on your own terms each and every day. There should not be a day where you're not loving what you're doing in some way, shape, or form. There's a victory to be had from every single day. There is something to be achieved. There's something to be grateful for and thankful for. And I feel a sense of pride for ourselves that we get to do what we love every single day. On the flip side of that, I want to encourage all those that are not happy with what they're doing every single day. If there's something inside of your heart, and I remember one of our new favorite shows is Ted Lasso.
Oh, so good.
Such a great show. And on the season 2 finale, there's no spoiler, but he was giving a pep talk to his boss, who's also one of his close friends. And he said, always trust your gut. And he said, the reason why you need to trust your gut, because you're going from your head down to your gut, and along the way, it passes through your heart. And he said, your heart and your gut will never lie to you. So if there's an aspect of your life and what you're doing for business, and it's not fulfilling you in some way, shape, or form, find your joy, find your happiness, find your peace. That's what life is all about. And Nancy and I always come back to that foundation of living life on our own terms, right? No one was born for mediocrity. We were all born to succeed and to thrive and to live the greatest and best life that we can ever live. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Next slide, please.
Next slide, please. All right. So we got pretty deep there for the whys.
So again, we really want you to come back to the heart center of all this, the reason why you decided to come to this workshop. The reason why you want to get your business organized, to create more peace, to create more ease and harmony and flow, right? You know how they talk about some of the most pleasing words to your ears?
I like flow.
Flow is such a pleasing word to me, because when I think of flow, when flow as a feeling, it's just like a nice steady stream or a river that has no blockages. It's just free flowing. It's consistent. That's the way that you want your business to look like. You want your business to be a free flowing river or a stream, not where there's beavers everywhere, building dams, stopping all of that.
Bottlenecks.
Right? So if that makes sense, drop a Y or a yes in the chat box. So again, you really want to focus. Hold on for 1 sec. You want to, if anyone is unmuted by accident, just please mute yourself. Just look at your things, just so we don't have any background noise. Okay, I think we're good. So again, just go back one slide. You're not going back slides. You're just clicking.
Oh my God.
You got to click the arrows. So we want to focus on your success flow, right? So the first thing is sticking to that CEO schedule. Now, what I will tell you is that CEO schedule will change over time. My CEO schedule 4 years ago, completely different than what it is right now.
Yeah.
And that's the way that you want it to be. Sometimes that CEO schedule is going to be really jam-packed. We have days where we're jammed. There's other days, like our Wednesdays and Fridays typically, that are just completely wide open, where we can slide in whatever it is that we want to. But also making sure that you are taking full advantage of that Trello board. Do not have that become some sort of archaic thing that you started and then stopped. It's what needs to get done. You make that part of your routine, just like the gym. So creating that CEO schedule, but also utilizing that Trello board so you always know what it is that you have to get done.
Yeah. And the other thing, right? The big picture goal, as you build out all your foundations and as you do all these things, eventually you're going to be able to hire your first team member, hopefully, right? So if you want someone to help you with all of this, and there's lots of different options and people that you can work with, having systems and having these things in place make it a lot easier to say, hey, can you actually help me with this? And actually, assigning it to them or sliding over that Trello board task or whatever needs to get done makes it that much easier. Okay. So this is all part of the big picture, right? Nothing that you're doing is going to, cause more time or anything. It's actually going to help you out in the long term as well. So it's really time to start implementing. Okay. So part of that implementation is, take your schedule, do whatever is going to work best for you, right? Put your schedule into your calendar, block off times as needed. If that helps you and it helps you stay on track. In fact, I just told a client today. Okay. So we operate the way that I operate in my agency is, we repurpose content for clients. If they don't get us a video in time, we can't create content for them. So what I did is I told the client, I said, look, every single week, we're kind of getting behind and I really need, content by a certain date. I want you to go in with me right now. Let's do a little share screen. And I want you to put it into your calendar that it is due on this date every single month. So they went in, they added it to their calendar, put a little reminder, and they're good. Okay. So the thing is I want you to do what works for you, block off those times. Don't make yourself available. We talked about it before. If you don't block out the time to actually work on your business or in your business, it's not going to get done. Okay. And again, people are always going to take up your time. So you're going to have to start saying no to some things, prioritizing work, and you're also going to have to make sure to make time for those certain things. Okay. The other tip is set reminders on your phone for when you should be doing things. I'm not even kidding you guys. Every morning, okay, and Scott heard me the other day, I go in my office and after I write out my day, right, I've got a little calendar, like a little dry erase board. I write out all my calls for the day and I go on my phone and I say, hey, I'm not going to say her name, Siri, right? Because she'll go crazy. I say, hey, please set an alarm for 10:50 a.m. Hey, set an alarm for 10:55, like whatever. And I'll go through and I'll set alarms to keep me on track throughout the day. Okay. That's again something that I do. It might drive other people crazy. I have a little bit of an ADD brain. So, I need that to keep me on track. So if you want to make sure to set boundaries for yourself, and setting those reminders on your phone might help, do it. Okay. The other tip is adjust as needed and give yourself buffer time for unexpected changes. Okay. Give yourself the grace. In fact, Scott mentioned it earlier. Guys, we have one life. Okay. I don't want you to beat yourself up if you have maybe one day that you didn't get to do all the things that you wanted to do. It's going to be okay. And in fact, full transparency, you will never, ever, ever get everything that you want to do done that is going to be on your little business schedule or your to do. Never going to happen. Okay. And in fact, once you can give yourself permission and know that that's the case, hopefully that takes a little pressure off you. In fact, I was listening to an Audible book this morning. I can't even remember what the book is. It's so new that I started doing it. I think it's called Rework. But anyway, so I was listening to this book and they actually started talking about, instead of creating a business plan, instead in your head, call it a business guess. So you've got your business plan, which is now a business guess. And then you've got your financial plan, which is now your financial guess. But the whole point is, right, we're putting numbers out there and we're hoping for them. Of course, we got to set goals, and of course we got to set this. But if you don't achieve it, it's not the end of the world, right? At least we put numbers out there and at least we're trying to work towards something. But if you don't get all those things done, if you don't hit all those numbers, it is not the end of the world. Okay. So those are just really big things I wanted to make sure to note. The other thing on there is to look at your Trello board daily. Okay. So again, whether you use it, use your bookmarks, whether you do that little hack where I showed you where you can drag it to your desktop. If you guys do want to check out Toby, I highly recommend, or you can, do different things. The second tip is put a time and date on your calendar each week to update your board. So for example, maybe on Sunday, right? At the beginning of the week, maybe you decide that that's the day you're going to look at your Trello board and plan it out for the upcoming week. Okay. Maybe you have a big meeting with a new client. You want to add it in there and add the notes to your Trello board task. You can actually add the notes in there. Maybe there's a video that you want to do on Facebook and you want to shoot a Facebook Live or a LinkedIn Live or something, and you want to write out the notes and put it on your Trello board. Whatever it is that works for you, go ahead and get it scheduled. Okay. Add it to your calendar. The third one is adjust time as needed and give yourself, did I already go over that? Yeah, I think I reminded again. Give yourself buffer time if needed. Okay. So, again, just kind of repeating that. Now, I know we've really covered a lot, right? This entire week, right? We went through so much. And like I said, I'll probably, going forward and next time, I'll probably cut it down. And even on day one, I'll probably share a few things from the assessment and things like that. But really wanted to give you guys, again, what it looks like on the back end. How much it takes to really run a business, because I really do feel that so many people are just sharing, oh yeah, business is so easy. Anybody can start up and everybody can whatever. But the thing is if you want to be consistent, if you don't want to keep hitting that dip, right? Where it's like you have those months where it's like you just feel like you're making no traction. You're falling off track with your lead generation, tactics and your routines. Your CEO schedule that you might have created, a few months ago, you're not doing it anymore. And maybe you need to recalibrate. A lot of that is because you're missing the operations, the systems, and the processes in your business to keep you going. And I always say that, and again, it's another quote that like I heard, it's basically like, you don't need, what is it? You don't need a goal, you need a system. It's like basically just if you really want to achieve something, put a system in place around it. And it goes with life too, right? You want to achieve things in life. Maybe you want to lose weight. Maybe you want to, start eating healthier. You want to do different things. Think of how that works, right? If you put a system in place for doing specific things, you're much, much more likely to achieve them.
Yep. So just a couple last announcements. We're going to drop the link in the chat box. So for those that jumped on late, anyone that does want to become part of the founding members of our 6-month membership, Expert Foundations, the link is right there. This is a special rate just for you guys for this launch only. It's either $97 down and 5 payments of $97 a month. It's 6 months. Or there's a special if you pay in full, it's $497. That is the link to do that. And that is good until Monday at 12 p.m. We're closing the doors. That is it. And everything starts September 1st. That's when you will have access to the portal and also our onboarding call, which is September 1st at 8 p.m. EDT. You'll be getting a link for that as well. So again, this was something that Nancy built out. It's literally a plug and play. Anything that you want to know, again, it's paced out over those 6 months. So again, you're not going to be pressed for time as far as completing certain things, but you do have 6 months to go through it all. So again, you have that business assessment. And again, can you talk a little more about how we might support if we need some individual? So with the as you go through the membership, we have the Facebook community. So for anyone that has questions that needs support, anything specific, we're going to be putting bonus trainings in there, but also we will be in there answering any questions that you have. We'll also be doing some pop-up lives in there as well, which obviously we'll announce to the membership community. So there will be plenty of support if people do have any questions with anything that's gone over.
Yeah. And just so you guys know, I mean, this obviously we have different programs. So this is our kind of like entry container of people building out their foundations. And for anyone who's part of our mastermind or year-long expert authority, you guys get free access to this. It is included in your, obviously in your program. But for everyone else, this is a self-paced, it's kind of self-guided. You have the community support. But the reason why we did that is we really wanted to make it lower priced, right? We wanted to make sure that it was, kind of a lower, entry as you're starting to build out those foundations. And then of course, we do our expert authority. Actually, we only open the door a few times a year, which the next time we haven't announced yet, but that is our one-on-one coaching and our program. And Rochelle is actually in our program, but we're actually probably too involved. I think we do weekly calls, we do a Monday call, a Thursday call, we do accountability calls every single month, and quarterly strategy sessions one-on-one. But that is a completely different program. Expert Foundations, again, this was built out to be the plug and play, right? This was the things that you're going to go through. It's like going through that assessment and it's filling in all those blanks and gaps in your business, and I want to create this as simple as copying and pasting and just doing minor, right? I promise minor tech, with some of this, but it's getting those things added and going in your business quickly so that, again, by the end of 6 months, which again, it breaks down to 48 hours, you actually have all these foundations and everything from that assessment built out in your business to keep you moving forward with systems in place.
Yep. So you do get these bonuses. Obviously Nancy has built these out as well. So tools that you, tools that you need in your business. If you are looking to onboard a VA, obviously there are some tasks that you can then outsource. She's got a checklist built out for that. And everyone's going to be able to have access to a pre-built out Trello board for your business hub, your offer creation, all of that. So it is a plug and play. Now, again, anyone that wants to sign up, obviously that is the link in the chat box. Again, you have until Monday at 12 p.m. Now, as far as tomorrow goes, if you show up, we are going to be calling on you to ask us a question. So we have our question and answer from 11 to 12 tomorrow morning EDT. If you're going to show up and we see you pop on there, we're just going to go down the line and we're going to ask you to ask us a question with anything that you have learned from this week. So if that is clear to everyone, drop a Y or a yes in the chat box. So we had a homework assignment last night. And before we get to that, the homework assignment for tonight, there's going to be obviously a thread at the top of the Facebook group. It's going to say day 5, Nancy's homework thread. And it is to fill out the sheet, but also all you need to do is type in to that thread, what is your why? What is the reason why you're doing this? So in the comments of that post, You're just going to put my why is, and you write what that why is. And we will be picking out 2 more winners that will be announced at the end of tomorrow's Q&A session. So the homework assignment from last night, we had 2 people that submitted onto the homework thread. So they are our 2 winners. Holly Clardy wins again. And Terry Latimer is also our second winner. So again, law of numbers were in their favor. So again, if you want to participate in the homework thread challenges, obviously, again, everything has to be in by 10:30 a.m. tomorrow. Again, it had to be in by 4:30 today. So for those that did submit after that, obviously we couldn't count that, but we're happy that those that did and that you did submit it. So again, tomorrow we'll be meeting from 11 to 12. As a reminder, I'm going to drop the link one last time. If anybody has any questions about Expert Foundations, please let us know. We would love to see you be a part of the founding members. And again, we are going to be allowing people to sign up and enroll until Monday at noon. So everyone, again, the replay email will be sent out later, so you'll be able to access that. And also just remember, you'll be able to access the replays until next Sunday, August 7th. So everyone, we hope you enjoyed day number 5. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow for our Q&A session.